Are you living your best life, or are you waiting for it to happen? How we spend our life is, in fact, how we spend our days. But many people find that out too late. They sacrifice their whole life and get nothing in return. So many people spend their lives waiting for their perfect life to begin, but that changes today. Welcome to Alux. Life is made up of days, and every day counts. But many people don't see it this way. They only see a couple of days in advance and a big question mark in the future. Tim Urban from Wait But Why made a similar calendar where it shows your life in weeks.
So I think we need to all take a long, hard look at that calendar.
It gives you an interesting perspective of how your life looks from above. But we've met a lot of people who live solely for the weekend. Friday after work is their own corner of heaven. They live for it. They make routines around it. They plan for it the entire week. Their perfect life is an escape from their real one. And when Sunday night starts creeping around, the dread and horror begins. Here it comes. They've got to wait another 5 days to wake up again. They sacrifice 5 days to optimize only 2. They're doing things backwards. Like the OJs said, they're only living for the weekend. It's the same for people who spend their whole year waiting to go on vacation. They live their life based on future events rather than the present. When you optimize for just a fraction of your time, you end up wasting the rest of it. Most of you are in your 30s. You've got about 2,400 weekends left and around 12,000 working days. Does it really make sense to sacrifice 12,000 days for 2,400 weekends? Even if it doesn't, most people still do it. That's because they see their life in a linear fashion. They can't see past tomorrow, and their future is unpredictable. They see their days as little dots getting blurrier each day. The only remarkable events are weekends and vacations. Their perfect life is beyond a point where maybe they've got a lot of money, or that perfect house, or they live in a particular place or with a particular person. But life is not what happens after a certain point. It's the average of everything. All those little dots together average toward a type of life. They all converge into a point, and that point decides where you are in life. This is a long-ass game, okay? People think they can turn around their life in a year, but that's rarely the case. And that's because progress is made when you don't want to do it. Motivation is a little bit of a lie. It's like those boosts in Mario Kart. It pushes you forward a little bit, but you still need to steer the cart and win the race yourself. You can't rely on a year-long motivation stint alone to get to a point where your best life begins. The average of your days gets you toward where you want to go. Now, people have a problem defining their ideal day because they picture a day in their life after a certain event. When you envision your ideal day, what do you think of? Most people are even afraid to think of it. In fact, Verywell Mind's latest survey found that 58% of Americans say they worry about the future at least once a week. When you worry about the future, you live your days in survival mode. You hope nothing wrong is going to happen, but you live your life waiting for something wrong to happen. Whenever you worry or get anxious about the future, you take your eyes off the ball. When you ask yourself, what if I don't make it? You'll forget to do the things that actually will get you there. When you ask yourself, what if it will never happen? You forget to ask yourself, what if it will happen? Someone said if you worry about the things that haven't happened yet, you worry twice. You give up all opportunities this new age offers you. You live like your parents would in a world where your parents can't survive. You see, in the world you're currently living in, you're obligated to sacrifice something your parents never could. Opportunity cost. The more complex life becomes, the higher your opportunity cost is. Your parents didn't have the same options as you do. They had a predefined path that most people in their generation took. Get a basic education, get a job, get a house, have some kids, retire. They couldn't do like 90% of the things you can do now. They couldn't go online and learn a completely new skill. They couldn't listen to any book of their choosing by tapping on a screen like you can. If you go to Alux.com/freebook, you can even get one for free thanks to our partners at Audible. They couldn't travel the world as freely as you can. The world's first commercial airline jet departed in 1952. They couldn't access the kind of information that you have. They didn't have the luxury of doing things that you can do. You see, everything you decide to do means thousands of things you don't get to do. And that number increases every year. Your opportunity cost for just living for weekends and vacations gets higher and higher. But you can do all these things. You have more control over how you decide to spend your days than they ever had. You have the power of decision. You can decide to watch a YouTube video on how to do a home workout with no equipment and get yourself fit. You can decide to buy a course and learn a new valuable skill that makes you more money. You could decide to listen to podcasts or apps that make you smarter every day. In fact, a lot of you decided to download the Alux app and make it a part of your daily routine. Alux is the first and only app specifically designed for entrepreneurs and high achievers. We built the ultimate app to focus you and help you to earn more, be happier, wiser, improve your relationships and romantic life faster and at a fraction of the cost. Go to Alux.com/app and download the Alux app today. You'll get a 7-day free Alux experience and a 7-day free trial to see what the app is all about. All of these things that you do every single day with the opportunity cost taken into consideration will decide what kind of life you'll live. So why not make the most of it? When you look at it like this, it only makes sense to make every day count. So, how do you actually do this? Well, you need to ask yourself 2 very important questions, and these questions will act as your North Star for your best life. First, what does your best life look like? Now, this means, where do all your days converge? What's the point? Like, really, what's the point? To answer this question, you need to find out what truly motivates you. And we're talking about general motivation here, not that little boost of energy we mentioned earlier. What do you want to do for work? What will make you feel accomplished? Trust us, it's never going to be money, cars, penthouses, or the latest Yeezy sneakers. It's something much deeper. We've found that people generally get motivated by one of 2 factors: status and impact. Some people want to achieve a certain status where they're admired by others. They want to be on the cover of magazines, speaking at events, invited to parties, so on. But others, they want to have an impact. They see a better way of doing things and they want to make it happen. Some people want to be the best teachers. Some want to build the best schools. They're both admirable driven factors. And 2, what does your best day look like? This means all those little dots that converge into a point. You see, your perfect day is not waking up in a mansion, having breakfast cooked by a chef, and jumping into a private heated pool. You think it is because you're currently looking at your best day past a certain point, not your best day today. And this is what this video is about. To figure out what your best day looks like, you need to find the honest answer to several questions. Are you hanging out with people that get you closer to your best life? Because look, you are the average of who you hang out with. Are you reading stuff that makes you smarter? Because your self-education is a constant, at least it should be. Are you doing stuff that makes you richer? Because money is everything here. It's the tool that will have the most impact in designing your best life. Money isn't everything only after you have it. Don't be fooled. Are you doing stuff that makes you healthier because you want as many dots as you can in your life calendar? Are you doing stuff that makes you happier? This is a little bit more of a complicated question which you need to answer yourself. And when you answer all of these questions, you'll come to the conclusion that you need daily inputs. And that's something we've talked about before in a dedicated video, which we suggest you watch after this one. You'll find it linked in the pinned comment. What you need to remember from this video is this: your best life doesn't happen after some given arbitrary point. You can't afford to wait for that point to happen because the opportunity cost you have to sacrifice gets increasingly higher. Instead, your best life is the average of what you do every single day. If you make every single day count, your best life will increasingly get better. And to make every single day count, you can't only live for the weekend. You have to figure out what your daily inputs are. Don't wait for your best life to happen. Make it happen. The most important realization from this video is this: the life you want starts today, and tomorrow is getting better.